Solo.
And hello! Welcome to Solo Playthroughs! Hey, the audio's working today. Unlike yesterday, it's fine. I was due for a couple of minutes of me being mute. And as Marty said so eloquently yesterday, me sounding like something is better than sounding mute. Maybe. Some might disagree. My wife might on occasion disagree. She might prefer the mute version of me. But here we are with a playthrough of Wingspan. Definitely was not something I thought would be on the channel anytime soon. Not that long ago, but life has a funny way of working things out, as Alanis Morissette so eloquently said once upon a time. So here we are with a review copy of Wingspan. This was sent to me by Stonemaier Games. I reached out to Stonemaier for a review copy of the new Scythe when that was announced. Scythe Expeditions or Scythe, I don't know. One day I'll say that right. Probably not today. And they were like, hey, how about we give you one of these other games? And I was like, I don't own Wingspan. Mrs. Playthroughs likes Wingspan. I'll take a copy of Wingspan and we'll get that sucker on the channel. I was always intrigued how this might play solo. And honestly, as someone who's not a huge lover of the competitive game, I like playing it. Mrs. Playthroughs likes it. That's fine. I have friends who love it, friends whose kids love it, so it's a really nice game to get to the table with certain groups. I'm surprised with the solo mode, and I guess I shouldn't be that surprised because I really do like the work that Automa Factory does. Automa Factory is the designer of the solo mode for Scythe, the designer of the solo mode for Gaia Project. They designed a solo mode for other Stonemaier games. Trying to think, they've done a bunch of different work with Stonemaier especially, but also other companies, again, Gaia Project. And they just have a really good way of breaking down a game, of kind of not being totally wed to the rules as it is for a competitive game, but simulating like an experience that you're against some kind of real opponent with at least some level of interaction, and still giving you a nice little challenge. So really digging what Automa Factory did here, and thanks again to Stonemaier. Looking forward to getting this on the channel here today. We got a bunch of chat to catch up on. We have Sagitt, Manticores have wings. Is it a sign? Or it is a sign. They do have wings. I don't think we're going to see any manticores in my aviary today, but it is possible. Madi, yes, but you are collecting, breeding them here. I don't think you would like to see Greg do that. Yes, I don't want to be breeding manticores, but Sagitt says breeding manticores. That sounds awesome. Greg is doing his shower thing again, same as always. No, man, no, I shower once a week. It just... That was not today. Madi says, do manticores lay eggs? I am curious. I think they do. Brian Skollick says, it's a jagged little pill. Hello, Greg. My wife hates birds, and so no Wingspan on our table. Yeah, my wife... It's funny. The more I play games with Sarah or try to introduce Sarah to games, theme doesn't matter to her in a way it matters to me. And I'm a pretty omni gamer when it comes to theme anyway, but like there are definitely certain themes that just definitely hit for me a lot stronger than others. Yeah, the bird thing is like, it's birds, whatever. I was always fascinated about Wingspan and how it hit from an industry standpoint, because Wingspan, I can't think of a modern tabletop game that hit the public consciousness more than Wingspan. It popped up in movies. It popped up on like New York Times list. It popped up everywhere. I mean, Elizabeth Hargrave, again, one of the few really known female designers in the industry. I mean, there are a ton of them, but she's one of the few that are known. And yeah, she's, it's just cool how it like kind of hit and kind of became a thing for me. If you're getting more people in the industry, if I can go into people's houses and like they have a modern tabletop game, and it just happens. It's usually going to be Wingspan if they're not like already gamers, right? And that's just the way things have gone. I mean, it's kind of like, not, it hasn't reached like Catan levels, but I mean, it has that similar feel of a game that just kind of went into the broader consciousness of society, and at least here in America. So, but it's a cool game. It does a lot of things really, really well. I have things. There are reasons why I don't love it, like love it, but it's definitely something I'm happy to play. And I won't say that about every game. So I think that's a testament to that. And again, the solo mode is crazy smooth. I mean, if you like this game, you'll like the solo mode, I think, because it just really does give you that experience. It's quick, relatively, but still gives you a lot of, interesting decisions. Yeah, and again, I don't want to get too much into like some of the negatives that I feel about this game, but that will probably come out as we get into gameplay. So let me do the rest of the chat. Brian Scott, like, get Everdell. It is similar but much better. I like it much better. That's probably a good call. I mean, there are things that Everdell does that I like more than Wingspan, but it also kind of hits that same spot for me. Like, it's fine. Um, Tableau builders with only a small number of cards in general kind of feel shorter than I want them to be. I mean, I had that problem with Race for the Galaxy and Roll for the Galaxy, that it just ends like abruptly. This does that to some extent too, but yeah, Everdell, I mean, it's a beautiful game. The cutesy art doesn't do much for me. That's kind of another thing. It's like, hey, cute woodland animals, another game with cute woodland animals, and cute woodland animals. Like, it's fine. But yeah, it does have really nice components as well. So I think I could see both games like hitting a similar spot, but groups definitely preferring one over the other for sure. Phoenix Knight, what's up, Eric? I mostly like Automa Factory. Automa's side than Wingspan are probably weird, and that I didn't care much for either one, but that might be more due to those themes. Yeah, I could see that. Aviary, it's great to catch your stream. I'm sick with COVID. I've been playing Hopple Victorum all day and Sword and Sorcery tomorrow. Good to get some bird action in between the fantasy genre. Nice. Yeah, Sword and Sorcery is definitely on my radar. It's a game I have reached out to them to try to get a review copy. It hasn't worked out yet. And Hopple Victorum is just sitting on the shelf over there, and I will look at it longingly, and one day I will get you on the table, I promise. But that day is not today, as I say often. Brian Scott, I will try it, says Marty. Thanks for the recommendation. Sagitt says, get well, Aries, and enjoy the gaming. Aries says to Sagitt, thanks. I'm already feeling better compared to yesterday. Yeah, no, COVID, I had a pretty bad case last summer. I don't think I played a game for like 4 days, and that was a lot. It's like, oh my gosh, let me get off this couch and play some games. But yeah, it is what it is. Fortunately, that was last summer. Let's get into some of the setup. One of the things that this game does that a lot of games do, and it's a thing that I generally don't like in games, is in competitive games, especially cooperative games. I don't care. And maybe this bothers me less than a solo game. Maybe it's one of the reasons I kind of like the solo game maybe a little bit more than the competitive game for Wingspan, is that it has a huge deck of unique cards. And yes, a lot of the cards do the same thing as other cards, and blah, 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 but it's still a huge deck of unique cards. And huge decks of unique cards are extremely hard to balance, and they can lead to some crazy swinginess, crazy luck, crazy bad luck, and it's just a thing in games that I just don't love. It's one of the reasons I will never love Arc Nova. It's a huge deck of unique cards. One of the reasons that Terraforming Mars drives me nuts at times. It's a huge deck of unique cards that's so hard to balance. And this is a game that card draw is at a premium. So, it's not like, at least with Terraforming Mars, you get the research phase and you get a chance to look at a lot of cards and whatever. Here, there's like no guarantee that you're going to see a ton of cards. I do think the Automa almost actually makes a situation where you see more of the deck than you might normally, which I think does really, really help. Again, some of my experience with this game. But we're going to shuffle this huge deck of unique cards. Each card does represent a bird. Birds can live in 3 different parts of your aviary. Again, you were trying to attract birds in your aviary, and you're trying to make them make bird babies, obviously laying eggs, which become more birds, and it's all very exciting. So there are 3 kinds of birds that can live in your aviary. There are birds that prefer to live in the forest, there are birds that prefer to live on the plains, and there are water birds. You can have up to 5 of each. To draw them to your aviary, though, you will need to provide the right kind of food that they want. And yeah, you might have to spend some eggs to make all of that happen as well. So shuffling this up, we're going to, again, the components in this game are great. I mean, the bird art, I'm like, people are like, this is the most beautiful game. And I never really looked at Wingspan. I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. It's birds. I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about birds. It is what it is. But we are going to take this nice little card holder. The storage of this game is fantastic. So we're going to take this card holder. We're going to put 3 birds face up as the bird offer to start the game. So we have a spotted owl that can live in the uh, the forest area, but you need to attract it with 2 mice. You have the painted white start, also can live in the forest, and then we have the fish crow. The fish crow can live in any of your 3 parts of your aviary. That's why it has the blue, the yellow, and the green symbol. To attract that, though, we will need a fish and a food of any type. I keep saying food. What kind of foods do we have? Well, we have wheat, we have fish, we have berries, we have mice, and we have wormies. We're going to start the game with 1 of each, kind of, because we're going to spend some to have our starting hand, as you'll see. I will take 5 cards from the top of the deck. These are the birds I'm going to be able to choose from at the start of the game. And I will not make that choice right now, but we have a downy woodpecker, a prothonotary warbler, a Cooper's hawk, a northern cardinal, and a pine siskin. You'll notice that each bird not only tells you what kind of where it could live in your aviary. It not only tells you what kind of food it needs to attract it to your aviary, it also tells you how many points it's worth at the end of the game, what nest type it has, how many eggs can fit in its nest, and then you'll see these brown powers on there. Those are powers that will activate when the bird itself is activated. There are also birds that have purple or pink powers. We have not seen any of those yet, but you have some when played abilities, and you have a whole bunch of other things. Generally speaking, birds are going to cost between 1 to 3 different types of food, or foods of certain types, to be able to play them. And the birds that cost 3 food at the time they're played are going to give you more points come endgame than the birds that only cost 1. But there are other ways that birds might accumulate points over the course of the game, as we'll see. That should be there. So that's shuffled. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards. Now, these are bonus cards for points. They kind of can give you some direction. They can be really swingy. I've definitely had games where I've ended up like 3 or 4 of these that just I couldn't make work with the birds that I had. So there's a lot of luck kind of built into these. But, it's fine. I think Luke Hector from the Broken Meeple talked that he mentioned recently that he plays with a rule that he took basically from Arc Nova, that you don't have to choose, because basically, let me back up. Everyone gets 2 of these at the start of the game, and you choose to keep 1 at the start of the game. I know Luke Hector mentioned that as a variant, you could play that you keep both for a while, and at a certain point during gameplay, you choose which one you want to do, similar to what Arc Nova does. I think that's a smart idea if you wanted to play with that variant. I won't be doing that today, but I do like that it exists. All right. Whoa. Saja says, hello, hello, hello. Okay, the video got stuck again. It did not start playing for me. I think the manticores will most likely prefer the tall grass plains. Phoenix Knight says, bird cannon anyone, plenty of ammunition. Saja, careful not to flip the bird when you shuffle. And Brian Scott, the greatest game ever made, the U.S. Audubon Society. Yup. Saja says, brown powers. Brian Scott should not play this game after watching Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And Saja says, are there seagulls? I guess they're seagulls. Again, have I mentioned that there's a huge deck of unique cards? It's probably somewhere in there. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to give the Automa 1 of these cards. This is not okay, birds with a certain power. All right, there are 2 birds. There are 2 powers that the Automa cannot keep. I don't think it's that one. I wish it was like on the Automa card, because I always forget. So setup, it cannot keep the breeding manager or the backyard birder. It can keep this. So basically, this Automa is going to prefer birds that have this kind of power. It's just basically a tucking power where you can tuck other cards underneath it, and those would equal points at the end of the game. There are 15% of the cards that have that power. These cards always tell you what percentage of the deck does that, which is kind of cool. And there are times when our Tomo will gather birds. If one of those birds in the display has that power, that's the bird that it would prioritize in gathering birds. If not, then it will just gather birds face down, and I'll talk about that and how that relates to scoring in a little bit. So we're just going to put that there, just kind of guides us knowing, hey, what kind of birds will our Automa look for? None of the birds in the display have those powers right now. So again, it's not going to be a primary consideration for us at this moment as the game starts. I am shuffling the Automa deck. This deck of cards will kind of guide how the Automa will play. The Automa will always take a turn after you take a turn. So in the first round, the Automa will have 8 turns, then 7, then 6, then 5 by the time we get to the 4th round, because that is, again, one of the ways that Wingspan is structured. You have one less turn every round. It is something I don't love about the game. I do prefer games that are more expansive. It's like you take Gaia Project. Gaia Project's an engine builder, but by that last round, it's incredible what you can do. And Wingspan's kind of like the engine building is very, very nice, but for me, the last round kind of always falls flat because like your actions are pretty obvious by the last round, and generally in a lot of games, all you're doing is laying eggs just to get points. So the game for me always kind of ends on a little bit of a dud where you're just kind of playing out the string, so to speak. Where Gaia Project, I find that last round super interesting, where you have the most possible decisions. Where Wingspan's like most of your important decisions were already made in rounds 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 kind of played themselves. Again, in my experience. Mike James says, "Good looking, Greg, looking sharp today." I know. I got I got special shirt up. My mom buys me this crap. I wear it once in a while. It's cold. I got a haircut. I know, man. I got called lovely today by Tristan Hall. So, like, man, I would have gotten a haircut and a beard trim months ago if I knew I was going to get called lovely by a top designer. So, Saget, tucking, eat other birds. Yes, sir. Saget says, birdie side, and agree on the falling flat obvious actions in the last round. But yeah, the decision space is super interesting early and then not so interesting late. So again, something I don't absolutely love. But it is what it is. I mean, it can be fun. I think again, some of that happens. It's like probably one of the things I like more about the competitive game, because it can be interesting to see what other people have managed to build, and then you're kind of watching them play out their engines. But it's a different kind of thing. So all right, we have the Automa deck. I have thoroughly shuffled it, and then we have this little round card, which each of these cards will have 4 slots. Well, generally speaking, some will have less and they get taken out at the end of certain rounds, but generally speaking, each of the cards has 4 actions on it. What action you do on each card will depend on what round we're in. So in the first round, we're going to look at the action that's on the top of the card. In the second round, we're going to look at the action that's 1 removed from the top of the card. Third round, and then fourth round, we look at the bottom of the card. So it's a very clever little mechanic that I really like how that comes together. I do need to take 2 of these objectives for myself, and we'll choose one of them, and I can look at both the birds that are available to me. These 2 cards compare, so it's similar to like a Terraforming Mars start, where you get to look at all the information and decide, hey, what strategy do I want to go with today? And then we're also going to have the bird feeder set. So I'm going to roll these 5 dice. And again, the bird feeder, like Stonemaier, is one of the things that Stonemaier likes to do is to have something that's like a unique, like centerpiece of their games to make it stand out and pop on the table. The bird feeder is fine. It's nice. I don't know. Like, it is what it is. I'll use it. It's the closest I'll get to a dice tower, I guess, in my games. This up here is going to help with the end of round scoring. So let me get that set up as I'm talking about that. So what Wingspan comes with is 8 tiles that are double-sided. So there are 16 different round objectives. So like similar to Gaia Project, these are things that are going to score you points. But instead of you like getting points, I mean, you can play on the blue side where you just get 1 point for everything that you do. that's relative to, or 1 point each, that's up to max of 5, that's relative to the goal. It is recommended for the Automa play, the solo play, to play on the green side where it's a competition. So it's me versus the Automa every round, who has the most of what of the relevant category, and then whoever has the most will get 4, 5, 6, and 7 points, and whoever has the second most, if they have any at all, if they have 0, if I have 0, the Automa has 0, then they get no points. But if they have any at all, then they'll just get 3 less points every round. This is a very significant swing in the solo game as far as points go, right? You're talking about every round you miss is a 6-point swing, like 3 points for them versus 3 points for me. So you really want to hammer home at least 3 of the rounds, if not all 4. It will really help you having a chance to win, especially I am playing on the hardest recommended mode here today. And I'll talk about how that scoring works before we get going here in a second. But I'm going to take these 8 tiles, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip them, and this is going to be our different round bonuses. So there is sets of eggs in all 3 of the various terrain types, right? So that would be if I have one egg in each, then my score for that was going to be 1. If I have 2 eggs in each, my score is going to be 2. If I have 2 eggs here, 3 eggs here, 2 eggs here, my score is still 2. If I have 0 eggs in water and 5 and 5, my score for that is going to be 0, right? So you want to have a more balanced approach in that first round that indeed is going to affect what kind of birds I'm going for here, especially since I wasn't dealt any birds that can go in the prairie land. Woof. And the only guy up there is the fish crow. That's not good. All right, interesting. I'm going to flip this. Uh-oh. That one over there, it is eggs in the certain kind of nest. It's a nest that has like a bunch of eggs in. Again, I was dealt none of those. This is going well. I was dealt none of those birds that kind of work with that. Might be time to grab some birds early. We'll see. I'm going to flip this sucker. Birds in water. And for round 4, we will, which I have 1 of, woof, in round 4, birds in plains, again, which I was dealt none of. So we have our work cut out for us, kids. We'll see how this works. So the rest of these tiles come out of the game. They're just not going to be used in this game. Now, the Automa is going to have the benefit or the detriment of a modifier depending on the round. So in round 1, we're looking there, so sets of in whatever, the Automa starts with -1 point going in. The Automa cards are going to tell me when to add or subtract from their value. So we'll see. So right now, the Automa has -1. Remember, to score any points in round 1, they're going to need to at least get that from -1 to +1. I'm going to try to get to at least 2 if I can, so I can get, again, the 6-point swing on them in round 1. What else is going to matter for Automa scoring? Well, they will score for any face-up birds that they have, just like we will, and their face-up birds will only be birds that are relevant to their little goal here. Most of the birds that they get are going to be face down, and we can decide now, which I will, do we want to give them 3 points per face-down bird, 4 points per face-down bird, or 5 points per face-down bird? They will most likely end up between 10 and 12 face-down birds. I will go ahead and give them 5 points per face-down bird. There's also another card, which I'll point out, which is for expert play, that's in the deck, and I'll point that out when it comes up. It will come up at least once in a game. But their scoring, we get scoring from the bonuses. They will not score from the bonuses normally. So they're basically going to get scoring from eggs that they accumulate. They're going to get scoring from face-up birds, face-down birds, and they're going to get scoring from here. That's pretty much all of their scoring. In my experience playing on expert mode, they're going to score somewhere around mid-80s. So if we can get, what did my last 4, like my last game was 91-91. Before that, I won 83-79. Before that, I won 87-84. Before that, I lost 69 to 104, right? So you get an idea of how the scoring can go. Sagus says, what they have built, not to spoil it for you, but they built birds. True. It's very true. Hilarious. All right. Woo! Let's make the magic happen. So first thing I need to decide is how many of these birds am I keeping, and the cost of keeping the bird in my starting hand is going to be any food that I want. So it doesn't matter what they eat. Basically, I can keep all 5 of these birds by getting rid of all 5 of my food. That, my friends, would be a mistake. Well, shoot. So my 2 goals here. Oh, wow. So I can go with the Forester. That would give me 4 points if I have. I mean, which the Forester is just not linked to. So this is like the things are not great in how they're coming together right now. But yeah, so I can get birds. I can get this goal, birds that live in forest, and if I get up to 3, then I get 4 points for that. If I can get all 5, I get 8 points. Getting to 5 is probably not happening, especially not with those 2 goals. Or I can go for the photographer that have birds with colors in their names. 4 to 5 birds would give me 3 points. 6 birds would give me 6 points, and that includes ash, black, blue, bronze, brown, cerulean, chestnut. I won't even read the rest of these, but they're hilarious. I have none of those. There are none of those there. Yeah, not even painted as a color. I object. I object wholeheartedly to that. Because it's painted, it has to have colors. So this seems like a mistake. 34% of the birds have colors in their names. I have absolutely 0 of them. 24 of the cards can only live in forest, and I have 4 of them plus access to 2 more. So again, huge stack of unique cards. Sometimes randomness happens in the shuffling that isn't exactly great, but we'll go with the Forester, and I'll try to get 3 forest birds, as I also try to get as ton of birds in the rest of the stuff here. How many of these suckers do I want to keep? Well, none of them have the nest I want, which is great. This guy can live in the water, but that's a problem. I probably want that guy. None of them have. Oh man, like this is a mess. I probably want to keep you. Only you. Probably want to keep you. Nope. I don't want to keep you. I probably want to get you is what I really want to do. I probably don't want to keep you. Oh, that's interesting. He lets me play 2. I don't hate that. I'm going to keep the Downy Woodpecker. You would be amazing, but you would definitely be hard to get, although maybe not. I'll keep this one. I'm not going to keep you, Tuck, and I'm not going to keep you. I'm just going to keep 2. I'm going to get that bird. I should be able to play 3 pretty quick, and then we'll see. But we are going to need eggs. Oh, I need eggs. I'm going to need eggs to build 2 birds. I need eggs to build 2 birds in the same habitat. The first bird you build does not require an egg in any column, but once you get to the second column, you need 1 egg. And yeah, I'm really not loving my options. Getting a set is going to be super hard. Get a bird, draw a bird, 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 bird. Maybe I don't keep this one because that's going to be crazy. But he's a water bird. So I could build him in the water, build him here. Maybe I just get 2 cards in a row. That's probably what I do. All right, we'll do that. Yeah, I'll keep these 2, get rid of these 3. And that's going to cost me 2 food. I'm going to keep I'll get rid of I'll keep the worm. I'll keep the wheat. I'll get rid of I'll get rid of the berry, and I'll get rid of the rat. That's it. So I had 3 food, and now I'm going to start this game off. What's going on? Phoenix Night, they built birds, huh? In other news, water is wet, winter is cold, and fire burns! Thank you, Eric. I played this game a couple of times, but all a lot more casual than this, says Saget. Yeah, dude, for sure. Just build what is in front of me, and it seems fun, and we will see what happens. Yeah. So to try to put together a strategy early is like the most thinky part of it, and then you're just kind of playing at the string from that part. But I definitely need to get some of those. I want to probably get both of those birds. That's 2 actions. If I get 1 bird, lay eggs, get more bird cards, build, build. Yeah, we'll see if I could do everything I want to do. I mean, if I can get the round 1 bonus, it'd be great. If not, there are worse things for sure. So I'm going to spend my first action. Well, I'll have my hand of cards over here. Let's see if I can kind of space this out a little bit better for the camera. It is French. Camera. All right, that's going to go there. Some French person is very mad at me right now, I'm sure. This goes there. Great. All right, I'm going to gain a card from the display. Now, I could just draw the top card of the deck. No need to do that. I'm going to build a... from any other bird or other birds to gain a food. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to gain the fish crow and put that in my hand. Fish crow is doing some things that I like. All right, we're going to draw the first Automa card. And I probably should have had this laid out better before I went live, but why would I do something silly like that? We'll do this. I like that. That makes sense. All right, we're going to draw the first Automa card. So it's the first turn for the Automa. And in round 1, the Automa is getting an egg. So that's going to be a point for it at the end of the game. And they're going to add a thing to the round thing. So we're going to add 1 there, but remember that just offsets the -1 from this card. So really they only have 0 toward this goal. I'm going to eventually use a die to track what they have. I just find that a little bit better, but it's always easy to rebuild if we need to by just going through the cards in the Automa's deck. All right, these are little cheat sheets provided for the Automa that they're really, really helpful. So I'll move them under me, but they just kind of tell you what you're doing with every action. And I think they're really, really useful. Learning this game was pretty much a breeze in a way I appreciate. Uh, what do we think? Do I want to? Yeah, I think I build the fish crow for sure. Yeah. So I'm gonna spend one of my actions to play a bird card, and I'm gonna play the fish crow, and that's gonna cost me a fish, and I will also get rid of this wheat. That will work. We're done with that. We're going to go to the Automa's action. We're going to pull over the second card. We match it up with the top thing. This should have replenished. The Automa is gaining a card, but they're gaining a face down card specifically. So what they do when that happens, you discard all 3 cards in the bird display. They're going to gain a card face down. That's going to be worth 5 points at game end. So I'll just put it sideways like that. And then they're going to replenish the display. Additionally, because there's a blue cube with an X through it, they lose the point they had going into there. So now they're back to -1. How do I feel about these birds? That has the egg I want. That I dig. That could really help in the next round, and it can go anywhere. So that's a good assortment of opciones. It's a thing. All right, so I'm going to draw that card because do I want to draw 2 cards? Yeah, I do. So I'm going to actually go to the middle to get 2 eggs. Hopefully they do not remove that from the display on me because that'd be bad. So I can put 2 eggs on any bird because that's what that tells me I can do. So I'm going to put it on the fish crow. Oh, has to be from any other bird to get that thing from the supply. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. Man, I'm struggling. Yeah, if I get that, that's fine. Let me not gain eggs yet. Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty underwhelming first round. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab That way I can get 2 cards that way. Do I want 2 cards? Yes, I probably do. All right, let me lay eggs on this dude, like I was originally going to do, and hopefully they don't make me lose that bird. The Atoma's turn. This might be falling apart on me. Oh, they are getting rid of it. Bye. I loved you, but you're gone. So these go away. They get another face down bird, and now they get 1 back to here, so they're back to 0. And then these guys come out. They both have the nest I want, but woof, they are both a lot more expensive than the one that just got away. But they also would give me the chance to get some bonus cards. So, yeah, I'm really not sure how we're going to pull this off right now. I will go here. I'm going to gain a bird card. I'm going to gain... They're virtually identical. They cost the same to play. They have different names, but it doesn't matter. You get to draw 2 bonus cards and keep 1. I could get that guy, but I really want one of these nests, but they're going to be a lot harder to build, but that's fine. So I'm going to grab this one, and then I can discard an egg to get 1 from the top of the deck. Sure, why not? I'm going to discard that and get this guy from the top of the deck. Oh, he's a beautiful pull for me. It's very similar to the card that just went away. Oh, that's a very nice... It's a really nice card for me. That could really help me with the end of round scoring, for sure. All right, so we pulled that. Now I go back here. I would activate that power, discard an egg from any of my other birds to gain a food from the supply. Obviously, I have no other birds with eggs, so that's not a thing. And then this goes backwards. So the way this works is every time you activate a row, you are going to do the action where you put your cube and then go backwards, and you activate any other birds that have brown powers. And then as you kind of build this out, for those of the people who have never played Wingspan before, as you build this out, the powers that you get in the different rows will increase the more birds you have in any one section of your aviary. But yeah, this is a pretty excellent card for me. For sure. Can I think I can potentially pull off what I want to do. So that was just 3 actions, right? Yep, cool. So we're doing the third. Nope, that was my 4th action. I have an action cube here. So that was my 4th action, and now we pull from the Automa deck. That's not the Automa deck. This is the Automa deck. So what's the Automa's action this turn is they're going to take food from the feeder. The priority is they're going to go left to right. Every card's going to be different. They're going to take this die face out of the feeder, and then I would activate any pink powers. I have no pink powers, and there's no adjustment to how many they have toward the round goal. So I have 4 actions left, and I have about 7 things I want to do right now. So let's consider how I want to do this. I think I want to play this dude, and I'm going to need food to do that. So I'm going to spend this action to take a thing from the feeder. I'm going to take this die, and that's going to give me 1 of these. That was my 5th action. It's going to be 1 of these wheats. Wheat, play, activate. Oh, can I get the eggs? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this the round bonus. It's just too early in the game for me. That's unfortunate. All right, the Atoma's action. What do we get? They are going to take... Oh, this should have refilled. The Automa is going to take a bird from the display. Now, there is 1 bird that does have 1 of those powers. It's only worth 2 points, so that's great. If there were other birds that had those powers, all of them are coming away, and they would keep the one that was worth the most points, and then that's going to get replenished at the end of the round. So that was really just a 2-point turn for them. That's fantastic. Remember, they don't score this normally. This is just how they gather face-up birds in their display. Again, no effect on that, so that's still a net of 0. My turn. I'm going to take food from the display again. I can play both of those. I'm just not going to be able to get the eggs that I wanted. And that's going to be fine, I think. Yeah, I'm one action away from doing everything I wanted to do this round. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to gain a worm from the display because, you know, worms are delicious. This goes back. Nothing else happening. Automa's action. They are just getting an egg. Again, no effect on the blue thing, so they're still netting a 0. There should be 6 cards here. There are, so we're doing okay there. My turn. I'm going to now play a bird. So first I'm going to play the downy woodpecker. The downy woodpecker, I can feed it with either a worm, a wheat, or a berry. I'm going to feed it with a worm. The second thing I can do is that when played additional bird in the forest at no additional cost. And by the way, all the birds that could only live in forest, they all went away. So here I am. I need to get 2 more of those birds to get 4 points, and right now I only have the 1. Fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean not great. So now to play a second additional bird at normal cost is going to cost me an egg because that's at the top of the column, and then it's going to cost me a worm and a wheat. We put this sucker there. Now, the Lincoln Sparrow has an interesting ability. If this bird is in the right of all the birds in the habitat, when activated, I can move it to another habitat, and that could be really helpful to get this exactly where I want it, to get the extra benefits of that row. So that's a really big advantage, and I'm glad that sucker exists. You also want to make sure you don't trap it inside. You are going to want to get it into a point where it's actually giving you that benefit, and you can keep moving it over the course of the game. It's a nice little mechanic. All right, next card. Round 1 is taking a face-up bird. This one has one of those powers. That's only worth 3 points, so that's not terrible. That's going to get replaced, and we're still at a negative. We're still at a 0 here, so there's a good chance that neither of us are going to score points for that, which is good for me. I am going to need a lot of food going into the next round, so I'm going to go here, and I'm going to take 2 food from the feeder. I'm going to want this worm, and now since I still need to take food, since all of the dice in the feeder are the same face, there's only 1 die, it has to be the same face by definition, I can go ahead and re-roll all the dice before taking my second food. I need wheat very badly, so I'll take this die and I'll take a wheat out of that. We go back here. When activated, if this bird is to the right of all the birds in this habitat, move it to another habitat. We're going to move this sucker down here. That way I can get 2 bird cards when next time I activate the bottom row. And then we're going to come here. The downy woodpecker does not have an activation ability, and then we go to there. So that's the end of all 8 of my turns in the first round. Oh, the freaking the Automa is going to get that 4 points. And so that's a very significant swing and makes me rather sad. So what are they going to do? They're going to take food out of the feeder. They're going to take all of the fish because that's the second priority. There were no mice, and they are going to add 1 here. So now their total net for the first round is going to be a 1 because it starts at a -1, and then they were able to get enough of those to get to the positive ones. So that was a little bit unlucky. Yeah, it was +1, -1, +1, nothing, 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 +1. Gross. So that's the end of the first round. The only thing we need to do to set up for the next round is they're going to get that. So that's going to mark 4 points for them at the end of the game. I get 0. So that's not a good sign. And now we're going to have to make sure that we hit round 2, round 3, and round 4. The good thing is I have 2 birds that are going to qualify for those, the next goal in round 2. One that I've already played, one that I plan to play this round. All right, the feeder is right. This has to flip over to the round 2 side. Now we know eggs in that kind of nest. The Automa is going to start with an advantage of 3 going in because of their card over there. So I'll just make that a 3. So I'm going to need to get at least more than 3, most likely. Nothing else changes except we go through here. Now this card gets removed at the end of round 1. We're going to take the unused Automa card, shuffle it with this, so you remove 1 card at the end of every round. And we're going to flip this over to mark that, hey, in the next round, we're going to care about what's on round 2. Checking the chat. CGM. What is the AI's bonus card? Also, this looks like, but it is. This looks like, but is it purely vanilla Wingspan? Saja says, how can you say it's very similar? They are totally unique. CGM say, with the discard and egg, you can draw any card, not just off the top of the deck. Yes, I'm aware of that. But I wanted to draw off the top of the deck because I didn't like the cards that were in display, and I was hoping to get a little bit lucky, and I did. But yeah, this is pretty much Wingspan. I mean, you're playing Wingspan, the AI is doing something a little different, but you're just playing a game of Wingspan. And again, I think Automa Factory does a really nice job in balancing, making the game feel like a normal game, but also allowing the AI to break some rules to really streamline the solo experience in a way that I think is very, very smart. Sajid, yeah, those birds were totally different and unique at the same time. It's like it was Schrodinger's bird. Is it unique? Is it not? It's the same. It's both. I don't know. We'll find out. Brian Skolak, thank you for the super chat, sir. Time to fly back to work. Good luck, Greg. TJM, that draw symbol is anywhere. A bird card will say if it has to be random. Yep. I got it. So, all right, let's go to the next round. I'm going to take my 7 remaining. Well, I have to lose a cube because I get 0 points from that. The Automa gets 4 points. So let me put that on there. Now I have 7 cubes remaining going forward. You always go first in the solo game, even though normally in a competitive game, this would pass around to indicate the first player or the first bird. I don't know why. I'm going to tell you a story. Let's take an intermission. So the thumbnail for this video is very personal because, sometimes it's a good idea to put a completely inside joke with myself as a thumbnail. So that makes sense. Again, that was sarcasm for those who didn't get it. My Sarah and I are very close to our nieces, and our niece has a book that is just literally pictures of birds. Every time I see that bird, I think of that book. I think of Wingspan, and Sarah would often read books to our niece. And our niece at one point got very upset that Sarah was not reading the bird book to her. She was just flipping the pages. There are no words on this book. It is literally just pictures of birds made for kids. But Kaya, who I adore, is just like, Sarah, read. Why are you reading to me? So Sarah finally would just start taking this book, and she would flip the page, and she would go, birds. And then she would flip again, go, birds. And then she would flip again, go, birds. And that just became a huge thing that for months, every time we talked to Kaya, she'd be like, birds. Anyway, I digress. Back to the Resident Killer program. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you didn't, that's fine. I totally get it. So, what are we gonna do? Let's draw some more cards, kids. Woo! I mean, I could get the greater prairie chicken. Why not? I do want more birds that can only live in forest, and I'm gonna definitely want. Do I have any birds with tuck abilities? No, I don't. Well, I have reasons why I could discard cards up there. When activated. Yeesh. Right, I need birds. Next round, I'm going to need water birds. The round after that, I'm going to need birds that live up there. You can live in a water. I like you as a water bird. Ugh, man, I had so many forest birds, and I did not take them when I had the chance. I could have been a contender. They're both water birds. The morning dove is worth 0 points, but it's very easy to lay eggs on it. Gaining berries from the supply. CJM says, yeah, I love the Automa. My wife and I use it all the time for the co-op challenge in Oceania. I was asking if you were playing vanilla or with an expansion. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I misunderstood the question. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, I played Oceania once. I like base game. I'm not a huge expansion guy in a lot of games. Like, there are expansions that very much work for me, but for the most part, I'm like, I don't know if this is a game that needed more birds, but that's just me. What city level is the birdhouse? Volcara's birdhouse. This is Mike. Great. Mike James gets it. Sajid. Hilarious. All right. I'm going to draw some cards because I want to get Lincoln Sparrow back up here where I can more easily get extra food. So I'm going to grab. Man, I need birds that are cheap to build because I need to fill out these two bottom rows. So I'm going to get the black chinned hummingbird, and then I'm going to get a bird from the top of the deck. I want to get the eggs thing? All right, let me not do that yet. And please stop stealing my birds. I'm going to do this first. I'm going to get 2 eggs, and I'm going to put them both on the Lincoln Sparrow. The Lincoln Sparrow is maxed out, but now I can make this action down here more efficient. I'm going to need as much food as possible. All right, now we do the Automa card. Don't make the birds go away. Oh, come on, man. Every time. So all the birds go away. We get a face down card over here. So 5 points for the Automa and 3 new cards. That cannot live in forests. That cannot live in forests. And that can only live in forests. That's an excellent bird for me, and it's worth 7 points. Like to see it. All right, so that kind of worked out. But I am going to need to definitely fill these rows, but, on another time. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to take this bird, because, again, I need at least one more of those to get the 4 points over here. I'm going to take a card from the top of the deck because I don't really love those. They all require 3 food, and I just don't have that much time. This guy can only live in forest. Booyah! And then I'm going to go back here. When activated, if there is to the right of all of the birds in its habitat, he moves up there. Again, that is the water habitat, plains habitat, forest habitat. And then we go back here. I'm going to discard a thing from another bird to get a food from the supply. Now, there's anytime you gain food, if there are only one type of face showing, like there is now, we can go ahead and re-roll all the dice. And I will go ahead and take, wow, I need an excessive amount of worms. Excessive, I tell you. I'm going to go ahead and take the berry, because who doesn't like berries? Sad says, Greg, why do you say what you don't want to happen? Did you not learn? And Joey says, are there any Orioles in this game? There are! What's up, Joey? There are. I've never built it. Or spawned it, or egged it, hatched it. I don't know. I see him, and then I'm very sad when I never get a chance to build it. He requires lots and lots of food. Woo! Alrighty then. This could work. I get food, move him back here, I think. No, get him, move him back here. Get this guy built. Yeah, I think that will make some sense. All right, what's going on? We're going to get the next Automa card. This is action number 2. Yep, this goes back here. And it is the... Nope, not the right deck. Build from here. All right, I have no pink powers, which is definitely not great. Pink powers can be really helpful in the Automa game, more so than there's just such a predictability to it. That's like it can give you like 2 extra food in a round, which can make a big difference. But the bird, he is taking food from the supply. His priority would be berries. There are no berries because I took the berry, so now he's going to take the 2 Mises. Excellent. And then I'm going to go up here. So I definitely don't want any more forest birds. These are my forest birds. That's what's going to be. And then I could try to flesh out, again, the water and the plains, because those are the next 2 round bonuses. I'm very much going to need those to go my way, especially because I got shut out of the round scoring in round 1. So I'm going to go here and get 2 food from the bird feeder. I kind of like both of those, so I'm just going to take both of them. Again, I would have the option to re-roll, but why would I want to do that? Let me make sure I lock up a worm and a worm and a wheat. Now, worm and a wheat. I need to get this thing built. That will be what I need for that. Cool. This comes back here. I'm going to move him down here. And then that, and then that. I dig. Man, I have no eggs. I mean, I definitely cannot get shut out 2 rounds in a row. That would be super bad. And I'm already losing 3-0. Excellent. Automa card. All right, 2 eggs. So that's going to give 4 points for eggs for them. And then they are going to get +1 to their round bonus. So they're up to 4. My turn. I'm going to now build a bird. Which bird do I want to build? I want to build this bird. It's going to cost me a worm and 2 wheat. Doesn't cost me any eggs though, so that's super nice. Water birds. Yeah. Okay, build that guy. Then I can lay eggs twice, maybe? Lay egg once. I don't know. I don't know. All right, cool. We're now going to go to the Automa turn. It is again round 2. We're taking. There is no food in the display, so it has to get rolled. And their priority is to take out the double wheat worm face. There are none of those, and this is going to take out all of the worms. So we're left with a fish and a mouse in there. Activate pink powers. I have no pink powers. No adjustment to the round and bonus. I'm going to go up here. I have 3 left. Maybe activating. Maybe. Oh, my bad. When this guy was played, I draw 2 bonus cards and I keep 1. So the first one is get bonuses for. I have no star nests, which are gross because they're like wild. So I can get 4 points if I have 4 to 5 birds that have that nest. I would get 7 points if I have 6 birds that have that nest. And then this one is birds with the wingspan of 30 or less. I have 1, 2, 3 of those, and then I have 1, 2, 3 more. So that's actually an easy 6 points for me. So I will keep that one. So I forgot. Again, that's a when played ability that I just forgot. So the Passerine Specialist. So I should be able to get up to that, and I could do all 6 of that. So that's fine. This is still my turn because I just realized I forgot to do that. The question is, do I want to build anything? I only have 3 more actions. If I play this dude, it costs me an egg. And I don't love that, but then I could get 4 eggs, and the question is that going to be enough? Since he's coming in at +3. It might be smarter to get birds. You know, if I had moved this guy, did I just build him? Right, I think I just built him on my last turn. Because I would really like to get him up there. That could be a thing. And then I race against him. If I get 2 more birds, move this up there, and then I can get 6 eggs super quick. I'm going to be maxed out at 6 on a scoring bonus, but then I'd have a ton of eggs and be pretty set up. Oh, but no, that he would move again. Ha! That's dumb. I can get 5 eggs. Well, if I never take this off, I can get 6 eggs. But I probably will want to take that off. All right, let me get 2 more bird cards. I definitely need a water bird. I hate both of these. Hate is such a strong word, but woof. This guy I can put down there without a problem. So if I get these 2, water bird, that's probably smart. Can I get a 3rd water bird? In the next round, they're going to get a bonus of 2. Oh, woof. I'm probably getting smacked. Yeah, these round bonuses have not been my friend. In the 4th round, they're going to get a bonus of 3. That's also gross. So I really need to end with like 5 birds across here, which is actually what you want to do. So if I get 3 birds here, 5 birds there, I will need more birds. I'm going to get 2, 3, and 5. I have a lot of bird building to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I also have this guy who's like floating, which is kind of nice. Yeah, let me do this. I'm going to take 2 bird cards. I will draw a random one from the top of the deck. Ooh, that I like. No bird eating powers. I'll take another random one from the... I need birds that can go in the center. I'll take the painted bunting. This comes back. He's going to have to move. I'll move him up here. And then do I want to discard a bird to gain a food? Or it seems unwise not to do it. I'm risking that big time though, but that is what it is. Yeah, I'm going to spend this bird, get a fish because I need a fish for the Barrow's Gillet. Oh, to gain food from the supply. It's not even from there. Oops, I messed that up earlier. It's from the supply. So I gain a fish from the supply. That stays. That was a mistake. So I think I took out a berry that would have changed some things with the Automa action, but then you re-roll, so it's impossible to refigure that. So sorry about that. Then do I want the fish? These are the deep questions that we're asking ourselves today. Yeah, I'll take the fish. I'll take the fish. It feels silly to take a wheat or a worm because again the way the faces are, like there's one face for each thing, and then so there's 5 different foods, and then there's a double, so the wheat and the worm are both represented twice on each die. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 5 birds. I'm going to try to build 7 over the rest of this game. So actually, if I can just build 6, then I can kind of keep having him go back and forth. That probably makes a little bit more sense. So, Automa action. It is round 2. They're going to... Oh, this should have been replenished. None of these birds have those powers, so they just get a face-down bird. Nothing changes there, so that's still at a 4 for them. My turn. I'm going to get 3 eggs. I'm going to put them on the relevant nest type. That is for the round scoring bonus. So 1, 2, and 3. This guy's to the right of that, so I'm going to move him back down here. Or do I want to move him up there? Do I care about food? Do I care about the food? Yeah, we'll move him up here. Let me see if I can't get that guy built to start activating those pink powers. That comes there. We're going to do the Automa action. They're getting a bird that matches, none matched. They get a face down. Now this goes up to 5, so that's not great. That is not good. Because right now I'm at 3, and I really don't want to lose that. So I won't build my last action. I'm going to spend the 2 eggs. I'm going to do that, get 2 eggs, and I'm just going to spend the food I got from the fish crow. I'm going to get rid of the berries. So I basically just used that ability. I discarded an egg and I got an egg back. Because again, I got 2 eggs and I could discard any kind of food to get another egg. So I'm 6 here. That will go back because then I can at least lock up, hopefully, the round 2 thing, unless they get another one here. Oh my gosh. Just 2 rounds in a row. So bad. Yeah, I'm going to get shellacked this game. All right, these go away. They get a face down card. This now goes up to 6 at minimum. At least I tied them in the round thing. So we both get 3.5 points. Rounded down, we'll both get 3 points. But that was pretty unfortunate. At the end of round 2, this goes away. We're going to shuffle all these cards. And yeah, this has been not great. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose by about 10 is my guess at this moment in time. So at least I got the 6 to split it with him. But again, these round scoring bonuses have not come out in a way that's been really like synchronistic. So that's a problem. So at least I got 6. At least it prevented a 6-point swing, and it just basically made it a 3-point swing instead of me being in first. We ended up tied for first. But yeah, losing that and then getting tied there is not a good recipe. So we're gonna have to hopefully fill out this bottom row this round. These come up, we go to the next round. This is gonna flip over to the round 3 side. This flips over to there. So first turn, I'm going to get some food because food is good, and I'm gonna want to get this water bird out for sure. I could potentially get 4 water birds that would help. Again, the Atoma's coming in this round with a bonus of 2. So I'm gonna get 2 food. I'm going to get oh, the food situation is not great. Yeah, that food situation is not great. I don't want any of that. Woof. Let me have kept the berries. I'm going to kind of retcon that a little bit. Just kind of looking at what's in the feeder. Um, it is what it is. Yeah, let me. So then I can take the fish. That was from the last round when I discarded the wrong thing. I should have looked at the feeder and been like, well, there are no berries. I definitely need a berry for that dude. And now we're gonna re-roll these 5 dice to get my second food because I can. There was only one face represented in there. Great. I will take a wheat. This comes back. Lincoln Sparrow is going to move. We're going to move Lincoln Sparrow to here. And that was the end of my first action. The Automa, they're going to look at the round 3 actions. The round 3, oh, these get replaced. Oh, it's a star, guys. Look at that. Another bird that can only live in the forest, and that's another water bird. Intrigued. Don't think it's going to work, though. Yeah, those are my forest birds. So round 3, they can take a card that has one of those powers. There are none, so they get this face down, and they're going to get +1 over here, so they're up to 3. My turn, I'm going to play a bird. I'm going to discard a egg. Again, I'm at capacity on both of those nests, and I'm going to spend the fish, the wheat, and the worm to play this guy. So now pink powers are going to be helpful for me when whenever a pink power happens, I can basically lay an egg on a nest. I can lay an egg on that nest. Again, every egg you have at the end of the game is points, so that would be super helpful. So I had to spend an egg. I spent the 3 food. That's going to be worth 5 points to me at the end of the game, and now I have 2 toward the round 3 end round scoring bonus. We're going to go here with the Automa. We're taking a bird. None of them match, so we get a face down bird, so that's 5 points. They're going to get another tick over here. I think was one of these. Now, there's an Audubon Society card, and that's the one that's like makes this like expert mode that could basically just does that. It adds to this, so it makes them much more competitive for end game scoring or end round scoring while giving them another card, right? So it just makes things a lot harder. My turn. I definitely need more food. I definitely could use more eggs because eggs are points, people. But woof, woof, and woof. Do I want more birds? Right now, I have 1 bird that can go there, so I'm gonna need at least 1 more. That guy eats stuff. That guy eats some stuff. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna build all these. This has not been going well. I'm going to. What's his wingspan? His wingspan is only 25. He's a star. That's not going to be great for me though. 8 points, 5 points. I'm going to need to max this out to 5. Seven points for him. Yeah, let me just get 3 eggs because eggs are always good. Eggs are points. 2 and 3. This guy's going to go back up here. This comes back here. Automa's turn. Round 3. He's going to get a bird card. These go away. This goes face down. This gets replenished. No adjustment there. So we're still at 4 water cards, which isn't great for me. None of those are especially good for me either. We're going to go over here. I'm going to get food. I'm going to need to get... What do I want to play next? I want to play a water bird. So I need worm, and wheat. Wow. That's not good. That's not good, because I can't get all 3 of those things. I'm going to get the worm and a worm. And those both come out. This guy's going to move. We'll move him down here, and that comes back there. I can build him, get some berries. No one's eating berries, though. Not great. Automa's turn, round 3. That's helpful. They're going to take one of these foods away. They're going to take this food as a priority. I get to activate a pink bird power. I get to put an egg on another tree nest. So that's done. I have 2 more actions this turn. Yeah, I think I just try to get that guy built. So I'm going to go here. I get 2 cards. But then in round 4, like, my engine's just not where it needs to be. Yeah, this has been really bad. That guy's fine. This has been an abomination. Alright, we're going to grab this dude. 1, and I'll grab one from the top of the deck. 2. This gets replaced. Nothing. I could discard an egg to get a food from the supply. I will get a wheat from the supply. Automa's turn. They're gaining a card. These all go away. Card face down. This goes back down to 3. This gets replenished. My turn. I'm going to spend... I'm going to build a bird. I'm going to spend an egg. I'm going to spend... the 2 worms and the wheat to get this guy in play. I probably won't use this guy at all. So he's worth 8 points at least, but woof. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to build enough birds next round, which is not good. I'm getting shellacked by the Automa. All right, round 3. Yeah, 2 more eggs. So I tied it, and then it went ahead. Yeah, just the final rounds have been just really, really bad, because now it's up to 4, so it's going to beat me here. I mean, at this point, like, it's almost like a surrender. I lost all 3 round bonuses. My engine has not come together. What time is it? Greg, why do you say you don't want... never mind. Eggs are also food, I thought, says Saget. I don't think that's true. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I'm going to restart. This has not come together for me at all. It's just kind of been a pretty bad game. I didn't get any of my engine working. My cars needed a lot of food. I got nothing really happening. I lost all 3 round bonuses. That's, there really wasn't a good synergy here at all. I mean, the right now, yeah, I mean, I literally can't build anything else. I'm just getting shellacked. I mean, the Automa has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or cards already. Just every card that's come up has been, oh, there's the Baltimore Orioles. So I think we just do a quick restart, run it back, and see if we can't make some more magic happen. This has just not even been a very good game. I think my scores, if I'll be lucky, if it's in the 60s. My birds are worth a lot, but I don't. I mean, I don't really have a good shot at even winning the last round, and I think I'm losing on all 4 of those, or I'm losing or tied on all 4 of those. You're really a flip of a card away from you know this being the situation. That's a little bit better, but still not great. I just don't think this is a realistic playthrough to kind of show how that comes together. So hopefully, I'd rather restart it, try to give it a better showing. And if not, then it is what it is. So that's how not to play the game. I think we got a little bit of the gameplay, but trying to finish that through to scoring, I don't think would be a very worthwhile endeavor. So I would rather just restart. What the heck is going on here? There's still time for a quick game of Maze Night. Saja says if they're cannibals, it is. Saja says the point about the eggs was a real life joke since we humans eat eggs because eggs are delicious, especially Mrs. Playthrough's cheesy eggs. Not gonna lie. All right, we're gonna take these. We're gonna reshuffle. Let's hopefully get a better combination of round scoring bonuses than the ones we got. This is going to be round 1. These Automa cards are going to come here. We grab these 2. We'll reshuffle these. We'll put this in round 1. That was gross. That was there was like really no good engine, which is tough. The Lincoln Sparrow, like the birds that kind of move, I find them very, very helpful. I think I just had too many expensive birds. This costs 3, that costs 3, that costs 3. Just to be able to play 2 additional, that's a great card. And maybe not the greatest card early, though, because it does require that you have at least 1 egg to do it. So that that was a little cumbersome to come together. This power for the fish crow didn't really work because it had to come from a different egg. So him being the first bird I built was probably a mistake. So, but I already re-rolled the feeder. This comes off. We'll get the Automa back all of their cubes. I'll take all my cubes. These eggs are going to go here. Yeah, resetting this game is not awful. I mean, there's just that one big deck to shuffle. But that's figured. I mean, that's like pretty much the worst game of Wingspan I've had in like 8 or 9 like probably not the 6 or 7 games. So of course it's on camera. It's super fun that way. Oh, the turkey. Come on, turkey, get in there. The turkey's like just chilling. I'm a turkey vulture. You don't need me. You don't need me. Of course we need you. Get in this deck. Yeah, I don't go crazy shuffling this deck. I mean, there's just so many freaking cards. It's hard to get a really good shuffle on it. So I think that's good enough for our necessary randomness. We are going to take 5 cards off the top. No, we'll put this display in here. So we have the American woodcock, the acorn woodpecker, and the great horned owl. The Automa is going to take a endgame scoring card. Birds that have the tree with the hole in it kind of nest get us 31% of cards right there. So they're looking at a 5-pointer right off the bat unless we take that from them. I'm going to get my 5 cards in my starting hand. It is the grasshopper sparrow, the black vulture, the Vose swift, and the black-billed magpie, and the blue-winged marbler. Where are the scoring? Give me the color thing. Give me the color thing now. We're going to get 1 of each food for our starting supply of food. And then the 2 scorings, they have the birds that have at least 1 egg laid on them. So 9 plus birds is 6 points. That's usually pretty easy. Birds that are worth less than 4 points. 7 plus birds is 6 points. I think the uologist makes some sense. I mean, that's kind of what you're trying to do anyway. I mean, 9 birds at the end that have eggs on them isn't the easiest thing, but I dig. I definitely dig that. Now, the black vulture doesn't cost anything to build. I definitely am a fan of that. That and the Vo Swift could be super interesting. Yeah, those are pretty good starting. Both of these are good. But those are pretty good starting birds, I think. And then this goes away. All right, we're going to have to get our round bonus tile tokens in place. So there are, again, 8 of them. They are double-sided. We're gonna flip around 4, and I keep dropping 1 before I go to flip, so that's super fun. Boom. And birds in water. So good thing I was dealt 0 birds that could go in water, and there's none of them in the display. So that's a good start. Bird. I swear, dude. The camera just instant curses me. Birds in planes. Eggs in the nests that look like teacups. Again, star nests count for everything. So I do have 2 of those dealt to me, but that's not the greatest thing. And eggs in nests that have the multi-eggs. Oh boy. That's not a good start. It's really bad. All right, we're gonna get our butt kicked again, I think. So I'm gonna keep the black vulture. Man, I'm gonna keep the grasshopper sparrow. I'm gonna keep the teacup, dude. Oh, so bad. I'm gonna keep the black billed magpie. And let me see if I can't just ride pink powers to a win here. Pink powers for the win. All right, kids. Let's make some magic happen. Build. Great. My first turn, I'm gonna build. Hey, I'm not even like the round 1 bonus. Like, forget it. I'm not even trying. So we're gonna play the black vulture, and he's only worth 2 points, but he allows me every time a pink power triggers, I can get a food from the bird feeder, which can be indeed very important. Oh, I can only keep 2 of these because I kept so many birds. I will keep that, and yeah, I'll just keep that and that. Why not? Make the magic happen. Cool. The first Automa card of the game. They're getting an egg, and they remove a thing from the queue if they can. By the way, they start with 0 as a round bonus in round 1, but they don't have a cube on there, so nothing's removed. So that's a little unfortunate in the timing of that. But they're going to get 1 egg, which they'll have for endgame scoring. My super fantastic, tabulous turn is I'm going to build another bird. I'm going to build the black-billed magpie there, and it's going to cost me the rest of my food. So already a better start. We're going to go to the Automa's turn. Booyah! It's getting an egg, and now it adds 1. I wish those were in reverse order for obvious reasons. So now it is up to 1 when it comes to endgame scoring. I'm not going to use the cubes. I'm just going to use the dice. It's better for the camera. My turn. Do I want any of those really badly? Stars are going to be really useful for those 2 endgame scorers. Water birds would be nice, not gonna lie, but I do need some eggs to build another bird, so I'm going to get 2 eggs. I'm gonna put this and this. Please give me a pink power. I would love it. No pink power. All right, all these go away. They get a card face down, and they remove a cube. So back to 0. So maybe we'll both get 0 points. Probably not, because that's not how these things work for me. I'm going to go here. I'm going to get oh, these get replaced. 1, 2, and 3. There's a water bird. Oh, interesting. Doesn't trigger any of the egg stuff. Those both do. This comes back. Can I do this whole game without a water bird? Maybe. Maybe. Not going to have a lot of cards, I don't think. So the tucking power probably makes not that much sense. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to grab this bird because I like it. And that's the end of my turn. Automa's turn. Pink power. No, just an egg. Oh, this gets replaced. Interesting. My turn. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to get a food. I will take a wheat. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. This comes back. Nothing. So no brown powers this turn. And of course, last game, all the pink power cards came up. This game, no such luck. All right. It's Homa's turn. They're going to take this out of the display because there are no mice. So we go to fish, which is second. And they add one back here. So now they are up to 1. My turn. I'm going to lay a bird. I'm going to, or build the bird. I'm going to spend 1 egg from there. And then I'm going to spend this 1 food. I'm going to put this dude right here. Atoma's turn. This is going to be their 7th card, their 6th card. Pink power. Oh my gosh, dude. No pink power cards. This goes here. This is going really well. 2, 1. These flip over. We have the killdeer, which can go in the water, a western meadowlark, and the northern shoveler. Oh, that could be helpful. All right, I'm going to take this to grab the killdeer. This comes back. Oh, please. Pink power. Oh my god. Not a single pink power the entire round. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, I'm getting smacked again. All right, this comes off. This should replace. They're looking for birds that have those nests. This one does, so they're going to keep that face up. It's 5 points either way, so that's not a big deal. But does not change the 2 that's there, which means I'm going to, again, be at a 4-point deficit on that. Oh, should it be at a 3? Yeah, it should be at a 3. Nope. It should be at a 2. I did it right. Man, 1 pink power would have been huge. Huge for me. But no such luck. I'm going to hope for a pink power because I can't bring myself to just get 1 food from there. So we have, again, the killdeer and the Sprague's pipit. I'm going to get 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. We activate the brown power, put an egg on any bird, put that over there. Nothing, nothing. So that's all my turns. Pink power. Oh, so bad, dude. There are no birds that match their condition, so face down power. That's that. That's the end of the first round. We got shellacked and end game scoring 0, and now we go to the next round. So this comes out of the game after round 1. These get shuffled. The 2 pink power cards were both in the bottom 4 because, of course, they were. I definitely built this entire strategy around pink powers, which obviously was a clear mistake. All right, well, we're going to go to round 2 over here. In round 2, the Automa starts with an advantage of a 1. And remember, I already have 2 birds in the plains. So, Stonemaier Games generally are a miss for me. I haven't tried this one though, says Mike. And now, Sadger says, now for the daily dose of shuffling. Steve, I always found a smaller deck will win the day. Oh, yes, Steve is the master of the small deck, everyone. Sajid, I mean, I am not going to suggest that the aura of chat has an impact on your performance and luck, but Be Downing thought I was too late, but happy to see a restart. Bought this game for my wife and still can't wait to get her. Still can't get her to sit down and play it for Christmas 2021. I may just be soloing without her. Sajid says, we enjoy your wins, but we are truly here for your struggles. Yelp. The struggle is indeed real. So let's let's great. Round two. It's still a better start than last time in some ways, maybe not in others. Here are my 7 things. I just I can't do it. I can't bring myself to to dump the wow, to dump the to give up on this pink power stuff, man. The fact that it didn't trigger once is like so unbelievably special. So good. All right. Well, I'm going to come down here and take Mr. Cupbird because I need another one of those for the end round scoring in the next round. Pink power, please. No. 2 eggs, and of course it's discard something from the center, but there is nothing from the center. It's discard a blue cube if there was a blue cube. That's not from a blue cube. That's from the round bonus from the round 2 card. Oh my gosh. I guess I'm doing this, getting 1 food again, because that's super fun. So I'm going to take the 1 wheat, because I can't keep waiting for pink powers. Now pink power is going to come off. No, it gets a card. This should have replenished. All these go away. It's going to get a face down bird. Again, 5 points for that. And now it adds a blue. So now it's up to a 2. These get replenished. So, nope, nope. Oh, that could be interesting. I do like that. All right, I have to build the bird. I'm going to spend the 1 wheat I have to put the killdeer here. Again, that's going to match the egg in round 4, so I do like that. It doesn't cost me any eggs, though, because it is in the first column. Automa's turn. Pink power. Yay! We got pink powers! Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, so the Automa is going to re-roll the dice because the dice were both the same face at the start of this action. So they're going to re-roll the dice, and they're going to prioritize not the worm. So the worm comes out, and now I can activate my pink powers. Great. So what I can gain 1 from the bird feeder. I'm going to gain a berry, and then now I can gain another from the bird feeder because the black-billed magpies. Every time you gain, if they're all the same face that they are like they are now, I can re-roll. And I will take no berries because why would a berry have rolled? I will take a wheat. Oh, it's really gross. I just needed another berry. Okay, it's fine. It's really fine, guys. I'm not stressed. You're stressed. All right, we'll take a wheat. Cool. Well, pink power is triggered. I can't complain too much. Doesn't have any impact on that. And now I'm going to go to my 4th action. So 4th action, I'm going to come here. I'm going to get a card. I'm going to take this guy, because he just costs 1 food to build, and I like that. And then I'm going to come back here. I can discard an egg to draw 2 cards. That I dig as well. So I'm going to discard this egg from the black vulture and draw 2 cards from the deck. Oh, I couldn't take them from there too. I don't want any of those. I don't think so. First, oh, that's not the right thing. Those are endgame scores. We're gonna have this guy. Oh, it allows me to play 2 cards in the river, in the water habitat. Probably not something I'm going to want to do, but I definitely have a bird that has a tuck power up here. And then this guy cash 1 from the supply on this card. He's not awful. Could get both of those built this round. All right, Automa's turn. No pink power. He gets 2 eggs. Again, remember, eggs are points, but he does remove 1 from here. So he's back down to 1, but that's the starter one. So we can't go below 1. My turn. I'm going to build a bird. I'm going to fill in the 3rd column here because I'm still trying to beat him in the round bonus. And I think I grab... I think I build the Anna's hummingbird. That's going to cost me 1 egg, and it's going to cost me any kind of food. I'm just going to spend the berry. And that will come back there. That is my 5th turn of the round. So 2 more rounds. 5th turn for the Automa. Pink power! No. We get 2 more eggs. So again, a lot of eggs going the Automa's way this game. Last game, they were getting a bunch of cards. Eggs, that's only 2 points. The cards were 5. I'll take it, but we get a +1 there. So we're up to 2. Remember, we're already at 3, which is more than 2. Advanced math. So we're going to go here. I'm going to spend an egg and a wheat to build the Carolina chickadee. Fantastic. Remember, we need at least 9 birds to do zoologist thing to get 6 points out of that. So I will absolutely take that. He has a cachet ability as well, which we'll talk about on the next turn because I definitely need some more food to feed all of these suckers. Pink power. No, this should have replenished. All these go away. And we're going to put a face down card over here. No effect on the end round scoring. This is my last turn of the game, of the round. I mean, please, I have 3. He's only at 2. It's going to be super gross if he ties me again, but I'm kind of expecting it. I'm going to take the fish because I need a fish for the great blue heron. I'm going to take, if I want to do that. Ugh. Do I want to do that? I don't know. Maybe. He's 5 points. Let's play 2 birds in 1 action. It's super efficient. I'll take the fish and I'll take the wheat. When we come back here, I can cachet a food on this card. That's going to be a point at the end of the game. And then this, nothing happens. Please do not get another blue. Excellent. Oh, it's the best of all worlds. So he's going to do this thing. He's going to get rid of the mouse. Pink powers activate. I don't want another fish, so I can re-roll this. I'm gaining 2 things from the bird feeder, 1 because of the black vulture, and 1 because of the black billed magpie. Oh, would you look at that? I like the idea of getting the cedar waxwing out, so I'm going to get... Oh, I could get Sprogs. It's 5 points, 5 points, 5 points. Yeah, I'll take the 2 berries. Could tuck him. Tucking's worth points. It's not great, though. I have 6 birds here. Feel like this is going a lot better. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3. Wait a second. I put that on the wrong thing. I was like, what's going on? 7. Excellent. So that's done. I have 3. He has 2. So I take my rightful place as the winner of a round for the first time. So that's nice. This can go off. And now we need eggs and teacups. I have 1 teacup. I know it's not a teacup. It looks like a teacup. 1 teacup. I have a star. I have another teacup over there. But he's going to start coming in round 3 at 5. So definitely have my work cut out for me. At this point, if I get max eggs on those 3 guys, I'm going to be at 8. So getting him built and starting the egg train is going to make some sense. But remember, it's going to cost me 2 eggs just to get him out. at the start of the round. This is going to flip over to the round 3 side. We're going to get rid of the Automa card that goes out after round 2, which is that one. These are going to reshuffle. Mike James, time for Adulting Has Come. Good luck, Greg. Volcaire's Birdhouse might have been easier by the looks of it. I love it. Oh, these should have replenished. And 3. None of them hit the nest box builder, so I dig that. Huh. Kind of like the idea of getting Wilson's Snipe. So then I could build that with a Great Blue Herring. That is a lot of points for sure. All right, this will come up here. My turn. I'm going to build another dude on the plains, in the plains habitat. So I'm going to build a bird. I'm going to spend these 2 eggs and these 2 berries, and we get the cedar waxwing in play. That should be really helpful. Again, it's a teacup. It will really help as I chase the round 3 bonus. The first Automa action of round 3 is they're gaining a bird. None of those match, so they just get a face down bird, but they get +1 over here, so they're actually already at 6. I'm going to now do the lay eggs action. I can lay 4 eggs. 1. Ooh. Do you want berries? Who wants berries? Who wants berries, guys? No eggs. Maybe I don't do that yet. I'm gonna tuck. I can tuck a bird, which I'm looking at from a point standpoint. Nah. I would only get 1 card, which is annoying. 1 card is annoying. Yeah, I think it's Sprock's Pit out. And we need to draw a card, as I don't think any of those are the right answer. Or Wilson's Snape makes some sense. All right, let me grab this card, just because this is going to be good for the next round. And not doing anything else. I have no eggs to discard. It just is what it is. So that's fine. So that's my second action in round 3. Automa card. Automa is taking something from the bird feeder. Since they're all the same face, they get re-rolled. Berries are its first priority. The 1 berry rolled comes out. And now I get to activate bird powers. That's really nice, actually. I'll get a worm. I did that for the black vulture, and now I can take another one with the black-billed magpie. I want another worm. There are no other worms, Greg. Alright, well, I don't want any of you. I'll take a wheat. Just kind of pointless. But it is what it is. Alright, now I'm going to lay some eggs. 1, 2... Putting them on the teacup dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come back here, tuck a card. I don't want to. If I did, I can gain a berry. You can always spend 2 food as any other kind of food, so there is some utility to having wilds. That is just listed up here. Each player gains a food from the bird supply. The Automa does not participate in black powers, in brown powers, I mean. So we're going to do this. I'm going to take, I'll take another worm. And then this comes back here. I get to lay an egg on any bird, obviously going for the teacups or the stars. Stars are wild. That happens, that happens. Automa's third action is going to be taking something. Oh, another. Now the pink powers are coming out in force, kids. They are going to take the fish. That's their highest priority. I can activate my bird powers. I will take another worm. And then I'm going to re-roll all of these because I really don't want the berries. And I'll take a... This should be replenished. Ooh, I'll take the wheat. I'm not going to have room for him. I'll take the worm. All right, my turn. I'm going to play birds. I'm going to discard 2 eggs. And I'm going to discard 2 worms and 1 food to play for both of these. They're both. That's basically going to be 10 points of birds because they're worth 10 points each. So this guy goes here. I can play another thing in the habitat for by paying its normal cost. The normal cost is the one egg and then the worm. So that worked out fairly well. How am I doing on the end of round thing? I have 3 there at 6. So probably don't want to spend 2 eggs to build this guy this round. I'll build him next round. Automa's turn. All right, they're getting another card. They're going to get rid of these. This goes face down. This goes back down to 5. We replenish this. The house wren, the Inca dove, and the house finch. My turn. Get me some eggs, yo. Ooh. He's at 5. If I spend 2 eggs... Oh, I think I can pull this off, actually. I'm going to build another bird. Do another build a bird action. Do this and this. And I'm going to play him. And it cost me 2 eggs. So I'm only at 1. The fact that he went down to 5 gave me an idea. Maybe it's a bad one. We'll figure out. But when played, I get 2 more bonus cards. I get to pick 1. Birds that eat any kind of food, I only have 1 of them, 2 of them. So that would be 4 points if I keep that one. Birds with colors in their names. I have black, blue. I'm not going to get the 6 of them. So I think I just guarantee the 4 points because it's 2 points per because I had the black-billed magpie and Anna's hummingbird. I won't get any more, but there's no way I'm getting up to 6 birds anyway. So I'll just take the 4 points and be happy. All right, Dunskies. That's out. Automa's turn. This is going to be their 5th turn. They're getting another bird card. This is going to be 5 points. No effect on the end round bonus, so that's helpful. We get the pine, 6-skin, the yellow-billed sapsucker, and the brant. Now I'm going to lay eggs. I'm going to get 4 eggs. Obviously, I'm going for the teacups first and foremost, or the stars. And I can discard a food, which I will. I'll discard this wheat to lay a 5th egg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This comes back. I can tuck a card to gain a berries. I don't want to. I could gain a food from the bird feeder. Sure, I will gain a wheat. I can lay an egg in any bird. Awesome. I'll lay this guy here. Nothing. So if we count all my eggs on teacups, I'm up to 7. So I will win this round as well, which is great. The Automa gets 2 things and gets this up to 6. I'm at 7. They're at 6. That was a nice swing for me. We get that, and then this goes away. At the end of this round, we're going to take out the card that goes for round 3. This comes out. We're going to shuffle the rest of the Automa's deck. And I think we're in very good shape. We're going to totally spam this and just get a ton of points in this last round. And I think that will be enough to win. We're going to get 6 points from that, 4 points from that. and we should be able to get the end round scoring. Now, if we go to round 4, they do start with a 7, so that is something to track. But you get to see like 2 games is what a world of difference certain things can make. All right, so we only have 5 actions left, and obviously we're gonna get some eggs. So again, we want eggs on 9 different birds because the oologist, and I'm gonna spend a thing to get so with 4 eggs. We spent the food to get 5 eggs, and they want to be on specifically now on the new kinds of nests. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have no birds to tuck. I can gain a food from the supply. Don't mind if I do. I'll gain a wheat. This comes here. Lay an egg on any bird. I'll lay it on the grasshopper sparrow itself. Nothing. Automa's turn. So again, this is like the last round where it just kind of plays itself. So the Automa is just getting food from the food feeder. It's going to grab this. I can gain food. It's all one face, so I can re-roll, and I will take. Now, the amount of food you have left over is indeed a tiebreaker, so there is some point to this. I'm going to grab both the fish from the feeder. Why? I don't know. Fish are cute. And that's the end of their first turn. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to gain some eggs and spend a food to get 5 eggs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing. I'm going to gain food from the feeder. I'll grab a berry. Fish and berries, baby. Add an egg to any card. I'll add it to this one. And that one. Now I only have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more eggs. So I can't even do the full amount here. Woof. None of those birds are especially worth a lot. But if I can get one that's worth a lot of points, it might be worth it. Because if I can get it, build it, 6 more eggs. We'll see what the Automa does. The Automa's turn. They get 3 eggs, and they lose 1 there, but they have nothing to lose. So basically just 3 points. My turn. We're going to gather. I probably should have been paying more attention to the food choices I was doing. I'm going to get 2 cards from the top of the deck. Give me something that's worth a lot of points. 1. Oh, that's a good one, because that also would trigger the 2 points there. So I'll be spending eggs, but I can get them back. Oh, and it gives me 2 more bonus cards. That's an amazing pull. 1, 2. I draw another one from the deck that specifically says the deck, so it has to be from the deck. This, I don't want to discard an egg to do that. So we're fine. I'm going to have 2 more actions. The Automa's turn. The Automa is getting a new card. This goes there. These come face up. We get +1 over here, so it's up to 8. My turn. I'm going to play a bird. It's going to cost me 2 eggs. Remember, I need to have eggs on 9 different birds. So I'm going to take it from the teacups because I don't really care about the teacups as much anymore. And I'm going to spend a fish, a worm, and any, and put him there. When he's played, I get to draw 2 more bonus cards. Hopefully it's something I've done. Birds that only eat worms. I have 1 of those, so that would be 2 points. And then birds with these kinds of nests, I have the stars count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I had 6, it'd be 3 more points, but 5's good enough for 4 points. I'll take the guaranteed 4 points. So that was a really nice card. That King Rail was super, super good. All right, Atoma's turn. They have their 4th action of the round. Making sure I got that right. They're going to gain a bird. Does any of them match their symbol here? I don't know if wilds count for the Automa when it comes to nest box. Oh yeah, the star. So they're gonna star does match. It's only 2 points, so that's good for me. That's done. we're going to come here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to discard a food. I get 5 eggs. Remember, I need on 9 different birds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just one more bird needs a thing. So 1. Oh, I actually can't take any more of that type. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can discard a card. I could tuck a card, which I will absolutely do to gain a berry from the supply. The tiebreaker is against food, but you need 2 food. The Automa always has 2 food for the tiebreaker, so at this point I'm losing the tiebreaker if we're tied. I'm going to gain a food from the bird feeder, so now we're actually tied, so we could tie and we could double tie. I can lay an egg on any bird. I will lay an egg on this bird, and that was my last turn of the game. Automa's turn. Booyah, they gain. This bird's only worth 1 point, so that's not bad at all, but they do get up to 9 on this. It was 7, and then the net over here was +2. So they have 9. My eggs in those kinds of nests, there's 1, 2, 3. Again, stars count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So again, I'm in first again. And now we can just go to endgame scoring. So the Automa pad is actually a really nice touch. It makes it super easy. I'm going to count the points on my birds that are in play. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 16, 19, 20, 30, 34. Again, not the highest scoring birds ever, but they were very effective in what they were doing. So 7, 9, 13, 16, 19, 20, 30, 34. The Automa is going to shellac me on this scoring metric, because they're going to all their face down birds. Again, I'm circling the 5. They're going to be worth 5 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They usually have between 9 and 13 cards, so that makes sense. So 45 points there. What's helping me though is these birds were not worth very much. They're only worth 8. So they have 53 points total for birds. Bonus cards. I have 3 birds now that eat wilds. So that's 6 points. I have 9 birds that have, at least 9 birds that have an egg on them. So that's another 6 points. And then I have 5 nests that match that. So that's another 4 points. So 6 plus 6 plus 4 is 16. The Automa does not score on that column. End of round goals. We won 3 of them and we got 0 in the first. So 5 plus 6 plus 7 is 18. The Automa, there's a total of 32 points up for grabs. Remember, -1 there. So the Automa is going to have 13 because there's only 31 points, but we can do the math. 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9, plus 4 is 13. Eggs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. I mean, spamming the eggs 3 times in that final round with these specific cards was super, super helpful. The Automa has 5, 10, 14. And that's the end of their scoring. They don't score for the final 2 things. Food on cards, I get 1. Cards tucked, I get 1. And now we do the math. 30 plus 16 is 46. Plus 18 is 64. Plus 29 is 87. Plus 2 gets me up to 89. 46, 64, 87, 88, 89. The Automa has 53 points just for birds. Plus 13 is 66. Plus 14 gets them up to 80. And that would be a victory. We are victorious. Yeah, it's Wingspan. I mean, it's the ugly and then the bad and then the good. I try to suck you in, and I'm like, oh, that first game is going super badly, and it was nice to turn it around for sure. Mike James. All right, Joey, does the game have any information pertaining to the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, or if a 5-ounce bird can carry a 5-pound coconut? No, there is some flavor text at the bottom of all these that kind of talks about what the birds do, but it mostly talks about, right, so the kestrel. The kestrels track rodents by their urine and will cache surplus kills for later. Turkey vultures can projectile vomit to defend themselves. Bush tits live in. I mean, you could not have asked for three, three birds that are funnier to read right now. Bush tits live in flocks, and single adults will help couples raise their young. Fascinating. Yeah, and look, it's a good solo game. Will I play this game a lot solo? Probably not. I mean, almost definitely not, right? But it scratches an itch. Mrs. Playthroughs like it. If Mrs. Playthroughs likes the game, I am more inclined to like it. Terraforming Mars and Dominion notwithstanding, I will still play those games because I love playing games with my wife, right? Um, so Saget, I will take 1-1 today. Fine. Joey says, sorry, dated myself. Monty Python reference for nearly 50 years ago. God. Yeah, I never got into Monty Python. I kind of missed that boat. I had some friends in college that loved that stuff, and I just never watched it. But yeah, you could really kind of I really do genuinely appreciate Stonemaier sending me this game, and was really happy to get it on the channel. It was an easy learn for a game that I already know. Has a super straightforward Automa, not a lot of fiddliness. The word fiddly is apparently fiddly. Not a lot of fiddliness to this game. It just is what it is. Once you start, you're getting used to like, oh, just keeping track of this. I do find the die better than throwing these blue cubes around, and then just remembering to refill the bird area. The way that these can come together, there are some goals that are just diametrically opposed, and that could be, a problem, right? But if you're punting the first one, as long as you have a plan for the other three, I did get a bit lucky with the nests that came out that allowed me to win both those last two rounds, and kind of gave me a pretty emphatic victory. That is among the lowest scoring I've seen the Atoma. What is it? The games against the, I mean, there are some ways. I mean, if you're taking first in at least three of these, there are ways to manipulate the score, right? But the Atoma scores I have are 92, 90, 104, which is bananas. I had a terrible game. 84, 79. So I guess 80 is kind of right in that ballpark. I know people can play this game and score over 100 on the reg, and I think in a competitive game, it's probably a little bit easier, especially if you have a lot of pink powers. I mean, you saw the pink powers here, just how useful they were. I mean, considering how much my start was stunted because the pink powers never came up in round one. I mean, you could imagine the way things in snowball and an engine builder in those early rounds. That could have been even a much more significant score. But as it is, we really were able to hammer home, on that planes and then just hammer eggs. I don't think there are. I'd be interested to see like strategies of playing this game that aren't so egg heavy, but they're just such low lying points. So birds worth 4 or less. I would have crushed this too. I think I had 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I would have gotten 6 points. So either one, the backyard birder or the oologist, would have given me 6 points come game end. Again, those are my starter choices for sure. So the plan is to be back tomorrow with the 4th chapter of the Aurora for Cloudspire. I am not 100% convinced that's going to happen, but it is scheduled. If I have to push that off, I do apologize in advance. Just have a lot going on personally, between kiddos and house renovations and the like. So stay tuned for that. If not, I will make that up to you next week. Just have a lot of stuff going on this weekend with some friends. Looking forward to. I have a game of TI4 on Saturday. I only play that like twice a year, but I absolutely love it when I do. I think part of the reason I love it so much is I only play it twice a year. There is a connection there. It's a very long game, but it's super awesome, and it's just a really good group to play with. So excited about that. Steve will be there with his small deck affinity, uh, for sure. Saget, where is Mrs. Playthroughs? You should have played 2 players. Yeah, Mrs. Playthroughs is visiting a friend, so she took this opportunity to spend a weekend away from me, which is healthy for her. CMG main, curious if you're going to grab Nature's Incarnate and your thoughts on it. I'll grab it at some point. My thoughts. I am always skeptical when it comes to expansions. I am always like, why? It's a game with a lot of content, and but again, if there's someone I trust to do it well, it's going to be Eric Royce. I mean, I think he's shown that with Jagged Earth, that his vision for the world of Spirit Island at large is pretty consistent. I really do like the Horizon Spirits as much as I despise the artwork. Despise is a strong word. I think the artwork is way too kiddie for me. It just doesn't. It's jarringly inconsistent with the rest of the game for me in a way I don't like. But I think Nature's Incarnate, the art looks great. The spirits look interesting. I'm just kind of like, there's 29 spirits already. Um, Greater Than Games has intimated that they were sending me review copies of stuff, and then they've ghosted me for a few months. So that doesn't help my excitement for it, to be quite frank. But obviously, that's no one can, you can't whine about a publisher not sending you a free game, right? It is what it is, right? Publishers do what they want. There is just a communication gap thing that bothers me with certain publishers more than others. Just don't tell me you're going to do something and then disappear on me. That's like a little off-putting. But look, Spirit Island is obviously, I love the game, and you're giving me more content. Like, I will get it at some point. Am I eager to get it? No. I'll probably wait till I get it retail, to be honest. But we'll see. That could change. But yeah, I mean, I think if you're a fan of Spirit Island, and I'm kind of curious how those early, how it starts hitting. That fulfillment took so long last time. Like, it's for me to get something super super early just to get it on the channel quick. I don't. I almost rather people have it, get a chance to play with it, then we can. I like that. That I almost said intercourse. Woo, with that discourse more. Um, with the chat and stuff like that, when people have already like played it, oh, I found this really cool, and talking strategy, like that's fun for me. Almost more than I'm the first person to have this. Let me show you what you don't have yet. So it's a thing. So that's a long-winded answer to say great. Not My excitement is very tempered by a lot of things, but that is very little to do with Spirit Island, notwithstanding some of the stuff I just said, and much more to do with my general feeling about expansions, where I'm like, more content, great. They're absolutely essential. Branching Claw is absolutely essential. I love Jagged Earth. I wouldn't call it essential. Recommended, sure. Um, but we'll see. I'm curious to see where they go with the rest of it. But back to a company that has sent me a review copy. Again, thanks again to Stonemaier Games. This has been awesome. If you want to see other titles you can expect to see in the upcoming months, go on my Patreon page, link in the description below. Look at March's public posts. I got a whole slew of games that I'm planning to get on the channel in the next few months. Super, super excited about it. I played my first game of Renegade. The tutorial mission was super interesting. Not exactly what I thought it would be, but I do really like it. Played my first solo game of Dwellings of Eldervale, got my butt kicked. I'm borrowing my friend's copy of that, so hoping to have that on the channel by the end of the month. Definitely going to have Nemesis on the channel by the end of the month. Next week, going back to Lost Expedition, we'll have Spirit Island, probably a two-handed playthrough. I'm thinking about Russia 6 with Downpour and Green. I kind of randomized that a little bit, and that seems like an interesting challenge. So I'm excited about that. So lots of really good things happening next week. I will try to stream all 5 days next week. I was hoping to do that this week, and we got to 3 so far. Hopefully 4 tomorrow, and then we'll see. But yeah, if Cloudspire gets pushed from tomorrow, that will be on Monday for sure. I'm definitely going to get back to it. It's just been a lot going on personally. So that is about that. So yeah, this was great. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining me. Any questions, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. Any tips on the Automa, any things you would have done differently, especially in that first game, to maybe save that from spiraling into a demise of Manticore aviariness. I don't know. Please let me know that in the comment section below too. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And that's it. This has been fun. Thanks for a great chat. Oh, thank you for the super chat, GMG Main. I do appreciate the support of the channel. And with that, thanks for joining me. And until next time, happy gaming.
Solo.